plays he plays Quentin in this, kind of the Johnny Depp character of the remake. He's really good. He's been popping up in a lot of scary movies recently, and I really enjoy him. I think he's a pretty good actor. But that's the reviews on the Nightmare on Elm Street series. And now, sorry from talking so much. Now on Friday the 13th series. Starting it off with a bang. Friday the 13th Part 1 and Part 2. I got this double DVD set at Walmart for $10. My mom told me I had 5. Came back with this. She said, "How much is it?" I said 10. She said, "You're not getting it." And I said, "Yeah, but it's 5 a movie. You said I had 5. It's 5 a movie." She said, "Put it in the buggy." Smart, huh? Yeah. Anyway, this I ask. I have a friend Peyton. She's really big into scary movies, and we were talking about Friday the 13th series one day, and I asked her what was her favorite, and she said, "Oh well, Friday the 13th. I'm gonna have to say because of the classics." I understand that Friday the 13th is a very good movie, but I don't think it's the best of the series by far. I understand. Probably a lot of people would not agree with me at all, but I do think wholeheartedly that Friday the 13th, being as itself, it is a very good movie, and it is one of the better ones of the series, but I do not think it is the best at all. People just say Friday the 13th, and they go, "Oh, the first one. First ones are always better." It's not really always that way. Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3 was a lot better than number 1, I thought. But, a lot of people would say that Friday the 13th was their favorite. It's not really my favorite. For the people out there that don't know, in Friday the 13th, the first one, Jason is not the killer. It's his mother that's the killer. And he has kind of a twisted sort of backstory. But if you read the Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash comics, which are basically the continuation of Freddy vs. Jason, it explains it. It goes into detail a lot more about what happened. Basically, Jason drowns, right? And his mom, like, Jason's dead. He's dead. At least this is what I make of it, and it makes sense to me, so this is what I believe. Jason's dead, right? And so his mom finds the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, which is the Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead series, where Ash Williams comes in. And she tries to resurrect him. He doesn't resurrect at first, so she thinks it doesn't work. So she leaves and kills all these camp counselors because Jason's dead. Jason's dead. It worked, but it took a while, I guess, for it to take. And so Jason wakes up, and he's back, and now he can't die because he's been resurrected, and, like, that's his power. His mom put that curse on him that he can't die. And so he's back, and he's walking, and basically he sees the climax of Friday the 13th, which is, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert! His mom gets beheaded by Alice. And that's when he decides to take revenge on his mother's death. And that's basically how I see it. It makes sense. It makes sense to me. So that's what I believe. And if people ask me about it, that's the story I'm going to tell them. But, he's not the killer in the first one. He is the killer in this one, which is kind of a... It's kind of a little... It's not really... They try and do the first one over again, basically. They try and not let you know who the killer is till the very end. Even though you're just sitting there thinking, like, well, who's this weird guy? It's Jason's dad. It's Jason. Because if people don't know about the rest of the series where Jason is the actual killer, they're going to think Jason... Like, maybe Jason's dad. Because they're not going to think that Jason's still alive, They're not going to think that. But, Jason comes back, and he's not wearing his hockey mask in this one. Hockey mask did not become famous in this movie. He's wearing a bag over his head with one eye hole out so he can see. This movie, a lot of people would say, yeah, Friday the 13th 1 and 2. Those are the best ones because those are the originals. They're the ones. They're the best ones. I don't think that they are. I mean, they're both good. They're both a bunch better than Jason Takes Manhattan was. But I'll get to that later. But I don't think that they're the best of the series. They are very good, but I don't think that they're the best of the series. And then next one, Friday the 13th Part 3. I got the special edition they released when the Friday the 13th remake was coming out, and it actually includes a 3D version of the film. And but that's kind of messed up. But that's the only special feature you get, basically. You get the 2D version and you get the 3D version, and that's it. You don't get any special features. All the rest of them had a bunch of really cool special features. You don't get any special features. That's all you get. And Jason does brand the hockey mask in this one. He wears the hockey mask in this one. This is the one where he gets the hockey mask from. And they made this one, and it was supposed to be the last. This was supposed to be the last Friday the 13th that they made. But, of course, it wasn't. I mean, you can't keep Jason down. Even with a title like The Final Chapter, you can't keep Jason down. It's down there. It's next. So, that's why I look that way. I'm not weird, I promise. But this movie, I thought it was pretty good. The 3D version of this isn't very good though. Like not on the DVD. So I usually just end up watching the 2D version. But that's okay because this movie I think it's really good, and it would be a really cool movie to watch 3D in the movie theaters where the stuff actually comes out, because there are so many points in this where stuff is supposed to be popping out at you, and when I mean pop out, it pops out. Like they shoot stuff directly at the screen, and it's really cool. I like this movie. But again, not my favorite of the series. Oh, excuse me. This one is my favorite of the series. This is also the start of basically the Tommy Jarvis trilogy within the Friday the 13th series. This one, I love. I love this movie. I love Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. With the name like Final Chapter, it was supposed to be the last one, but of course it wasn't. I really like this. A lot of people would ask me why I liked it so much, and I mean it's kind of a stupid reason, I guess, a little bit. I mean, I like it, number one, because they brought out all the stops. They thought that this was going to be the last one, so they just went for it. They went for it. All the blood, all the gore, everything. They went for it on this movie because they thought it was going to be the last one, and they wanted Jason to go out with a bang. So they went for it, and I really like that aspect of it. But really another aspect that I like of it is Corey Feldman, who plays Tommy Jarvis in this. I love Corey Feldman, Lost Boys, and The Goonies, and all this stuff. I love Corey Feldman. I actually did not know he was in this movie until I got it, because how I acquired the Friday the 13th movies is a little strange. I got Freddy vs. Jason first on regular DVD because I liked that one, like I've said before. And then I got Friday the 13th Part 7 and Part 8 because they were on sale at Circuit City, I think, for like $3 or $4. And so I got them because I just felt like watching a scary movie that day. And when I watched them, I basically fell in love with the character Jason by that point. I mean, I knew Jason. I knew kind of what his story was, and I kind of liked the movies. They were okay. But I really fell in love with the character that day. And as soon as I could, Halloween came around. Walmart has all the Friday the 13th movies on DVD at Halloween usually, and they're $5 a piece. I think I got all of them on one Halloween. But I didn't know Corey Feldman was in this until I watched it. You can tell that this is my favorite because it has the most wear and tear on it. I watched this the most. I didn't know that Corey Feldman was in it till I got home and I watched it. And I was like, wow, this one's awesome, Corey Feldman! And Jason dies at the end of this one. He dies. Well, he's supposed to die. Act like he's dead. But, this was really good. They brought out all the stops for this one because they thought it was going to be the final one. They thought that it was going to be the end-all, be-all to Jason Voorhees. So they brought out all the stops, and they let Jason go out with a bang. He didn't really go out. He came back, but this one's really good. This is my favorite one of the series. This one, Part 5, a lot of people didn't like. I like this one. This one is the next chapter in the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. Corey Feldman he plays a small cameo in it, but he's not the actual Tommy Jarvis we follow throughout the film. It's a different actor. But this one basically, Tommy Jarvis goes to a mental hospital, and then a man dons a Jason mask to get revenge for his son who died at the mental hospital. Someone killed his son at the mental hospital, so the man puts on the mask and pretends he's Jason and then kills people. A lot of people didn't like this. They were like, Jason's not in it. It's a really good movie, actually. You're just judging it because Jason's not in it. The hockey mask is in it. We never actually see Jason. Well, a couple times we do in the series, but this one I thought was really good. I like this one. If the Tommy Jarvis trilogy is my favorite throughout the whole series of Friday the 13th. So Part 5, I thought it was really good. A lot of people didn't like it. I mean, it was well shot, but a lot of people really didn't like it very much. And I mean, I understand because Jason's not in it. That kind of messed me up a little bit. And the ending is kind of okay, but I enjoyed this movie. This was I remember watching this when I was a little kid on TV, and so that might be why I like it so much, is because I watched it a lot when I was a little kid. This next one, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, it has the return of the actual Jason. Jason is back in this one, and he's coming full force. And again, different actor plays Tommy Jarvis. Corey Feldman doesn't have a cameo in this at all. Neither does the previous actor who played Tommy Jarvis. It's just a new guy altogether. And this one is definitely the funniest of the entire series. For instance, Jason throws a guy into a tree and basically rips the guy's arm off as he's throwing him. When the guy hits the tree, he falls down. There's a circle with blood in it, and it's the smiley face. It's like a smiley face figure where the guy's face went into the tree. And this one is the funniest of the series. This is the end of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. After this, you don't see Tommy Jarvis at all anymore. And actually, kind of little weird fact here, that's Debbie Sue Voorhees, who's actually a character in Part 5. Doesn't appear in Part 6 at all. You can, Part 5 DVD. There she is right there, in the actual same face that she's making right there. She's not in Part 6 at all. She's not even mentioned in Part 6, but they decided her face looked good for the movie she's not in. But, funniest of the series, end of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. Really like this one. Part 7 is where the Jason story starts getting a little kinda, oh, that's what's going on now? Cool, I guess. This one is still a good movie. It's about a girl with psychic powers that takes on Jason Voorhees. And I actually saw a review online somewhere. I'm not sure where I saw it, but someone was going, the girl has psychic powers. The movie has lost all its believability now. Jason has died like 12 times, been resurrected. He's bones in this movie. He's bones and dead flesh. And you're like, because she has psychic powers, it takes away the believability? Have you seen the movies yet? Really? But, this one, it's still a good movie. They did it in a very good way. But it has Terry Kaiser in it, who played Bernie, Weekend at Bernie's. I thought that was pretty cool. He's not dead in it. Well, never mind. They did do this really good. This was the first one I got besides Freddy vs. Jason. And this is the one that made me fall in love with the character of Jason. And this is also the last kind of good movie in the series for a while. But that one, it's still very 80s, very 80s, and you can tell when scary movies are 80s, because it has the camp, it has the cliches in it, and it's really good. But after this one, the series started getting a little bit, which brings us to Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. Worst of the series. Worst. Well, this one and